Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in today. As always, lovely to spend time with you. And I thought we'd do something a little bit different today, but we are going to be using a couple of our new stamps from the Herbs and Delights collection, mainly the Shrooms and the small Shrooms. And I thought we'd create one of these lovely hanging ornaments. You could make a bauble for Christmas, your hanging Easter decoration, but I think for your kitchen or your conservatory, especially with the herbs, I mean, you could even make one with just the herbs in the planters. Maybe hang it up in your greenhouse. So many things you could do with it. And it all starts off with one of these hanging discs, and you get 6 in the packet. Fabulous. And it's a great way of using these lovely background papers. So this is the Enchanted Forest collection. And again, when you look, you have just got so many to choose from. And the hardest bit for me was which piece to choose. And all you do is choose yourself a piece, pop your disc on, and draw around with a pencil. So this is the side we're going to do. And I've just marked with a pencil where the hole is, just to give me an idea. So first of all, we're going to stamp. Now, as I say, I'm just going to stamp one side, but when I tend to make a disc, just to give you an idea, I will cut both out, stamp both, and attach them both at the same time. That's my suggestion, but you'll probably find your own way of working. So for the stamping, we're going to start with our VersaFine Clair, the black, and we're going to come in first of all with the Shrooms. Now there's 3 on here, and these are larger, obviously, than the small Shrooms. I know I'm going to have fun saying that. So we'll just ink up. And again, I think we'll put one there. And like I say, there are so many stamps that will fit well on these beautiful discs. And then we'll pop the next one. And I think we'll put that at a jaunty angle here, but leave enough room that we can stamp the smaller ones. Lovely. So this is the largest of the smaller ones. And I'm thinking we can pop that one in the middle here. I mean, you could just leave it as that trio if you want, but I'm thinking we'll have a smaller one each side. Now, I love the fact that the background's already made, but I want to add a little bit more. So I'm going to come in with the orchard grass, just to give a little bit more interest in the background. And again, I'm just going to put a little bit of stamping at the side, sort of coming off the image just so it's off. And I love that because it then makes it look it's from a larger design. And then we'll have a couple first and second generation. Again, that just adds a bit of extra depth. And then what I'm going to do is give my stamp a wipe, just because I want to get that ink off. And I want a little bit of the grasses here, but to make them look like they're in the distance, but I don't want to stamp over this. Now I could mask it, but you've got an even better way. Just ink up the top, look. Take off your first generation and put your second generation there. And it just looks like you've got that lovely wispy grass in the distance. We'll have a couple of those, and then maybe just another one there. Yeah, so it's not too even, not too symmetrical. I like that. And then we'll just give that a bit of a blot. Remember, your VersaFine Clair, slower drying ink, so we'll give it a bit of a blot. Turn that over. And then we're going to add our moon mask. So the smaller one, I think, is the order of the day. And we're going to come in with truffle and the small brush, the number 3. It's perfect for this. Now I'm just going to turn this round. I like to work the opposite way. So if I pop it there, Again, always put your ink in the lid. And I'm going to start at the bottom, just gently flick the colour. And I'm thinking the brown will team up beautifully with the green, but also it'll show up. And again, whenever I re-ink, look, start at the bottom, because the bottom will be darker with the shadow, you see. So that's why I just work upside down. So if I get too much ink at the bottom, it will just look like it's shadowing. Now I'm just going to, with the ink that's left on here, just blend that out a little so we haven't got a definite edge. And also it helps to just use that ink that's on my brush. There we go. And we'll give that a wipe later. So, just to add some detail, I've got my Signo pen. And what I'm going to do is just here where we've got these lovely, and actually I think I might go around the window frames. Now again, you could use any colour. I'm just going for the gold because it's going to team up with the sort of bronzy colour that I'm going to put on my disc. And then let's have some white highlights. We'll just have, and again, it just gives a bit of, if your pen, like mine, every so often doesn't work, just give it a little bit of a nudge. There we go. What I tend to do is all my stamping, and then I'm going to attach it to my disc. Bippity Boppity glue is perfect for this. And what I tend to do is to put my glue on the MDF and on the paper. I find it works best that way. And then I just use my finger to almost bring it right to the edges and flatten it out. And again, on here, just do the same. And then I'm just going to pop that over there. And I'm just going to turn it over to check I've got a sort of border all the way around, which I have. So just give my finger a bit of a wipe. And then I'm just going to press it down, but I'm just getting myself a piece of kitchen roll. And then I'm going to give it a good press. Only because if I've got any ink or glue on my fingers, I don't want to put it on that finished piece. Again, it's just about getting sort of good working habits. Now, I've purposely almost bent that over so that I can come in now with a pair of scissors and just quickly go around the disc. Now, the best thing I find is a wonderful tip, just an emery board. You can use a little piece of sandpaper, and just for these edges, I then go round. Make sure you go away from you. Don't do it this way or you're going to lift that paper. And it will just take, see there, I had a little bit of card that was showing up sort of over. And look, we get a lovely smooth edge. There we go. There was a little bit of a burr. You see here where I've not quite cut it perfectly? Well, look at that. As I say, sandpaper's good, but I find an emery board, and obviously because I do my own nails, I tend to have an emery board in my craft room. All the way round. And then look at that. Fabulous. So I'm just going to use my scissors and poke that hole. There we go. And if you want, you can just take again any excess paper off there. Lovely. Right, so the next thing is I'm going to add some of our lovely gilding polish. And this one is the Copper Shine. Take the lid off. Now, I'm going to just use one of my lovely brushes. And remember, this is water-based. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a spritz so I can gauge the right consistency. And I'm also going to bring in a little pot to rest it on. So I'm just going to edge this design. But like I say, you'll get ways that you'll find will work well for you. And I find this brush, and this is the number 10 brush, is just perfect. Look at that, we've gone all the way around. Now, how quick was that? And then I just want to catch this edge look, which I know is lovely and smooth, because obviously we've just used our nail file on it, haven't we, our emery board. So I'm just catching that edge. If I want any more, I can bring the polish further in, just by angling, obviously angling the brush more. But I like that. And what I'm going to do is, I just want to, if I can, catch around here. So very gingerly, just going to paint. And I just want a little bit more. I want to see this. So I'm sorry, I'm holding it quite close. There we go, that's better. And you see how the coppery tones. So that now I'm just going to rest on here. A little tip, because it's water-based, I always have a night-night routine. Spritz it twice, say night-night, and then lid on. And that'll be perfect next time we want to use it. And this, I just think, so quickly, it looks fabulous. Now, finishing tricks. Our lovely stickers here. And we just want one of the little butterflies. And I'm going to go for this one. And as always, I'm just going to pop it on my scissors. And I think we'll pop that there. Lovely. And then we've got some words. And I'm actually going to go for, this is lovely, delicate but strong. And again, it's on my scissors, so I'm thinking right across here now. If that's the top, we'll have it right across there. And then some of our stickles. So this is Seafoam, lovely green colour. And I'm just going to dab it on, and I'm going to do a bit of a dot and dab. So I'm just dotting it on, and then with my finger, and I'm just going to hold this, I'm just going to dab it a little and move it round. Just so that it's not too thick. I find sometimes it can be quite thick when you sort of squeeze it on, and I just want it sort of around in the background. So that's my dot and dab technique. You know me, everything has to have a name. And then we're going to add this lovely moss here, look. And I love that. A lot of new crafters ask what mixed media is. And all mixed media means is using different materials. So in theory, this is a mixed media project. A lot is sort of said about mixed media artists. So this is mixed media because we've used MDF, we've used paper, we've used inks, we've used stamps. And we're also going to use this lovely Preserved Reindeer Moss. And this is on the website, have a look. I love this. I'm forever looking as to what I can use it in different projects. It's great at Christmas. I know we've just had Christmas, but I'm just saying for next year, fabulous. It looks lovely with fir cones and berries. I got some lovely, when I was in the shop last time, Jack found me these lovely berries. Oh, fabulous. So to glue it, I'm just going to get my silicone adhesive here. And I've just got a pokey tool. You could use a cocktail stick. And for me, I find it easier to just, where I want it at the bottom, look, I'm just going to put some of the adhesive. And again, this is just the way I work. And we'll just, I don't want too much. So I'm just going to wipe this. And then put the lid on my adhesive. And again, always pop the glue up, pop the lid on. And then I'm just going to add, and you can sort of separate this and shape it. Oh, I like that piece just going up there. Now I only want a little bit more. Let's have that little bit. And just give it a good press down. Now I can get a little bit more in there. and then that's going back in there because, you know, I'm a crafter and we save everything, don't we? We're very thrifty. I don't want to overcook it. Don't want to not see my lovely shrooms. And then our very final, I want some of my yellow Posca splats. So like I say, to do both sides, I would stamp both up, actually glue both on, then put my lovely gilding polish around, then decorate one side like this, leave it overnight, and then turn it over again, just on a container. For me, I find it raises it up, but it doesn't have the pressure across the whole of the disc. This could be turned round and then I could put the finishing touches to the other side. And finally, add your lovely craft yarns. So a couple of those, and then the very last thing is some Glossy Accents. Now I'm just going to check mine's working. Yes. And then the Glossy Accents, I'm just going to add, now you don't need a lot, on the butterfly look, and then on the little windows. Now for me, this does take overnight to dry. I'm sure somebody somewhere's timed it. I couldn't tell you how long it takes to dry. I tend to do things like this. I leave them overnight. I just find overnight works for me. So again, lid on. And when that's dry, and again, because look, I can lift this and I can go and put it on the side. I'm going to put it over on my unit and let that dry. So what I'm going to do, but because I can lift it, so we'll move this out of the way. Bring this back, look. So that's the one we've created. And honestly, how quick and easy was that? And this is the finished one. So when that glossy accent is dry tomorrow, look, it dries as hard as anything. And again, it just gives that extra detail. So that's the side we've created. And if I turn it over, you can see the design on the other side. So to give you an idea, the beautiful wheelbarrow with some of those herbs in. Same thing, moon mask, lovely sentiment. And again, got the glossy accents on those stickers. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Buy yourself a pack of those lovely hanging discs. You get 6. Anyway, you take care. Any questions, just add them in the comments, please. I hope I've explained everything and that you've enjoyed it and that you have a go. And please pop your designs on social media because it's so lovely to share with each other. So you take care. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.